require my assistance?
No, that's okay.
Let me change your mind.
Okay, I'll sit like this next time. that way, yeah. Did it freeze? Let me restart my computer.
Greeting, traveler.
No time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adigo! We're gonna be rich.
No time for games.
Inferno! Require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
right, just tell me when you switch.
Good to go.
All right, welcome everybody to Tavern Talk. I'm joined tonight by Turd Herder and special guest Pond. Say hi, everybody.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
guys.
I think Pond is a little frozen, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
It is him.
As
It's
long
his
as-
picture.
It's certainly him. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
get that fixed at some point, but for now, that's who we have. We got a really good episode for you guys tonight. We're gonna do a special new review thing that you guys will see when we get to that when we're reviewing week 2 results. So stay tuned for that, and then we've got some cool matches to talk about. So why don't we get started?
Let's hop right into it with our tier list brought to us specifically by Pond. So, Pond,
Yeah.
why don't you break it down for us? What do we got for your tier list here?
So S tier, I put Roundtable and Wet Boys. I just feel they're really strong. Those are the teams I just didn't want to see playing against. Got A tier of Stubbs and Dad Legend, so following me up closely. B tier was Prep, Pat Blast, Dirty Mike and the Boys. C tier was Abejas, Pod People, and Serenade Pain Game. Then I got the D tier. I got Hearthstone and Chill, Annoyotron Misfits. And for the F tier, I got Vandergrift. But just a note there, this is why I think it's really important to have your PR caps on your team, because you could switch their top 3 seeds for Fuel, Avi, and Darius, and that team would be incredible. So that's one thing I think really important when filling out a roster is max your PR guys. Try to get close to 1,800.
I will say that they are all in the same school together, so I think that's what they were going for. And the PRs weren't as important to them; they just wanted to play together. And their top 2 seeds actually have not been doing too badly so far. So, not even though they are under PR'd and potentially under or overseeded, they're managing to get some wins in those 1 and 2 seeds. So. Not too bad. We'll talk about that later. I do see some things straight out the gate here with the tier list that I do not agree with.
I can venture to guess which ones those will be.
Okay, I mean, one of them obviously to me is a little bit more near and dear. I think Dad Legend in A tier after a big win is hard to push them down. I think most people have been putting them in S tier in their rankings the past couple weeks. So. Obviously, this is your ranking and not really comparing it to anyone else's specifically, but to have them in A instead of S when they're undefeated and have pretty much had the past 2 weeks have had near 20-point weeks.
The thing for me was I looked the other 2 teams. The 2 teams I have in S tier right now have very strong 1 and 2 seeds, and I think I think Zabe is probably one of the most underrated players in THL. I think he's not a lot of people have heard of him. But I think that 1 and 2 seed of the other teams puts a lot of pressure. The round table, I think they're 3, 4, and 5 were more of the question for me. But they've been doing really well. Super Murlocs 2-0, Copper Talons doing 1-1, doing pretty well. Napex is 1-1. So that's why I felt comfortable putting them in S tier. Dad Legend, I don't think I think their 1 and 2 are going to beat most teams, but that 550 PR, Yellow Dart, great player, but just doesn't cut it against the 550. So that's why I dropped.
I mean, I disagree with you there, and I think our bottom 3 are incredible for the place they are in PR, where they are
You and the 3 is going to be tough for most teams to beat. Especially your guys 1, 2, 3 is probably one of the best 1, 2, 3s, if not the best one.
I mean, even the 4 seed is the 4 and 5 seed are really good.
Yeah, I just don't see anyone on our team that's they don't have a chance at winning at the seed. I think Zabe can win against any 1 seed. I think Yeldar can win against any 2 seed, and I would say the same for me. you know,
And
I think our bottom three
why I
are
put you
favored
guys
in every match almost.
That's why I put you guys in A tier. Was I felt like you guys are probably. I'm predicting you guys to be in the semifinals.
All
So,
right. Okay.
I
yeah,
see how it's. Yeah.
Is that
yeah,
okay?
I mean,
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
I will say Roundtable and Wet Boys, I think, played last week, right? So we did have a winner of that match, and it ended up being Wet Boys, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But to have them lose, I guess you're saying it's the other S tier team, so they're still there. But to have them in S tier, I think maybe I would have put them in A. Dad Legend up in
Yeah,
S.
the 1 and the 2 for Roundtable's been kind of underperforming. They've gone 1-1 the past 2 weeks. So
Mhm.
like, but I have confidence in those two to turn around and pick it up. So
Sure.
I expect they will be.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one for me that I think is surprising is SPG all the way in C.
That's what I was going to say. Yes, same thing.
I think they should be A or B even. Like they're a very strong team. They made it all the way to the finals last season. They really haven't changed much. Have they changed at all since last season? What's their team? They might have had one change, but overall they're the same top three, and they've just been doing well. They lost their first week, but it was against one of your S tier teams, and
Right.
then they just had a really great week too. So hard to put them in C in my opinion.
My issue with them is I think their 3, 4, 5 seeds have issues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean I think Colson's an excellent one. I mean he's up there for the top ones. Donde's a decent 2.
Wow. Ooh,
I
Donde.
would rather,
He
hey,
watches
He's in,
this, man.
he's in charge of content, man. Be careful what you say. You see DeSharmo on this stream today? You wonder why he's not here?
He's been axed.
No,
He's been
For
axed.
example-
He talked shit on Donde and he's gone.
you know what? Great example. I'd rather have Yellow Dart in the 2 than Donde.
All right.
So, yeah, and just their 3, 4, 5, especially. Yeah, I their 3, 4, 5 is what gives me pause. Yeah, I think
Oh, you've changed your tune. Donde's okay now?
decent is okay.
I'm kidding. What's the problem with Freeloader? He's your captain of your pro team. I would be careful there too, man.
You know what? Apparently, I'm just trying to get kicked out of the league. So that's the way they're doing. We'll do well. But yeah, no, I don't have confidence in their lower. I think I was looking at with Brick in the 3, which I does think make them a worse team. So putting Freeloader back in the 3, I think would help them a lot.
Yeah, I mean he's just a sub for the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean we'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah, it looks like Darkside is taking a seat on the bench this week.
Yeah, so no, I think normally they have in their 4. It is normally Darkside, I guess, and then they have Black Magic.
Black Magic sub for him last.
Yes, correct. So Darkside is normally their 4, and then usually the 3 is a freeloader. So Brick's just subbing. So they have had a couple of changes just for subs for separate weeks, but it didn't hurt them last week, and we'll see if it hurts them this week.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's his tier list, and he's sticking to it.
Yeah, I will say we were just kidding about DeSharmo. He's busy tonight. He's still part of the show. He'll probably be here next week. So if anyone's watching, like, what happened? It was just for comedic effect, guys.
Yeah. Well, and I do have SPG. I think SPG is significantly behind the top 3 teams in their division. So I think the gap from SPG to Dirty Mike, it's 8 points right now. So I think that.
Sure.
Yeah. So like, I think there's a pretty clearly a top 3 kind of in in red, and then there's SPG, and then there's kind of a bottom three.
Yeah, I will say that they did well 1 week, and then the 1 week they did lose for SPG. Since we've only had 2 weeks so far, SPG did lose to one of your top teams, so that's why I'm a little bit more hesitant to say that, that's not necessarily showing that they don't belong in the B. Like, I think they can make playoffs for sure. I think Dirty Mike and the boys versus SPG is going to be a really, that's going to potentially determine that 3 and 4. But we'll see.
And I have Dirty Mike in B, Sarah and I Pain Game in C. So those two are pretty close to each other, rankings. But yeah. And then I have Dad Legend up top.
Alrighty. I think without belaboring the point, let's move on to the gold review. So this is match 1, Wet Boys versus Round Table. Maiden, why don't you go ahead and break it down? Tell them about the new prediction system.
Yeah, so what I did this week is I went back to look at the VOD and from last week, and I put all of our predictions, including the guest who last week was Twos, and put all of our predictions on who would win each seed. You see in the 5 seed there that match was already, that match was already determined. That's why it has the X next to it. So none of us guessed on that. That one was already determined when we went live. But everything else is our predictions, and I kind of thought this would be a fun way to look at how well our predictions went. Maybe we can start sort of like a fantasy pool. I don't know about who's going to have the best predictions at the end of the season.
Who's doing the best? Yeah.
Maybe something like that. But I thought this would be an interesting way to actually see what our live predictions were last week and how they compare to what actually happened. Since then, I've also gone back and done week 1, so I think we'll try to come out with a blog post with all the information in the future, maybe like halfway through the season, and then before playoffs, stuff like that. But for now, you can see here, these were our predictions for this match last week and compare it to what has happened. So some interesting notes here. We all predicted 3-2. It did end up being 3-2, but I was the only one, notably, to predict that the Wet Boys were going to win. So I'm pretty happy with that. Everyone else predicted Round Table was going to win the 3-2. What else is interesting? Me and Twos were the only ones that voted on Avi. I think half of the people predicted that Dervis would get his first loss. That has not happened yet.
I know I saw Cal talking in chat that he doesn't think it's going to happen this week either, but, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it does say he said he's going to clap Dervis and end that win streak tonight. So I know he was a little hesitant in Discord, but it looks like in the current chat right now he's talking trash. So if Dervis is watching, watch out. Hell's coming for you.
He's going back. He's playing the long game. Anyways, sorry, that was detracting.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, really, really interesting results here. Something really interesting. Everyone voted for Matty Ebbs in the 4 seed. Every single person, and actually, Super Murloc was able to come out with it. So, well done there. We cast or cursed Matty Ebbs there. It seems. No other cast or curses here. Anything else you guys see here, or maybe some prediction that surprised you on your end, Turd? Since you were here,
I think Matty Ebbs was probably the biggest surprise there. But honestly, like in hindsight, Super Murloc is a great player too. Mm-hmm. I don't think we should have discounted him. I think you and I were the only ones. Oh no, all of us. I think you and I and the other two were quick to discredit Super Murloc, and obviously we were wrong. Maybe it was that Warrior ban. Obviously he didn't ban Warrior, so maybe Super Murloc was able to get a free win with the Warrior. Who knows?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have seen Warrior ban be popular.
I think the sweep of 1, 2, 3 by Wet Boys is rather take out Lotus, Itachi, and Apex. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3 that's a pretty good round for your top 3 seed.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see that match with Dervis against Itachi on stream. And I believe Itachi played his Paladin 3 times in a row, just couldn't find it. Got a little bit unlucky. So that 3-0 is not necessarily indicative of how close that was. I think a little bit of luck going to Itachi, he would have gotten that win there, at least one. But just a little unfortunate. So I think definitely well matched teams. This time it went to Wet Boys, but I could see it going the other way next time they play, if they play each other again.
Very nice. On to the next match.
On to the next one.
Alrighty, we have Da Stubbs versus Prep is for Rogue, not Pilots.
Yeah, so looking at this straight up, Twos was very wishy-washy on the 1 and 3. He did say that they were very close, both of them, and he predicted it would go 1 and 1 in those 1 and 3. So he ended up saying, okay, the Stubbs wins 1, Prep wins 1, and his result was the 3-2. We did correctly all predict that the Stubbs were going to win, and they did, but maybe not quite as
convincing.
Yeah, I mean, it was. If anything, it was more convincing than a lot of the casters were thinking. Notably, here, the 2 and the 4 seed, we all got wrong. We said that 2 was going to Ron, and Osmonaut surprised and took down the big boy, which was a big win for the Stubbs there for sure. And then we all had, I think, the Chronic beating Force of Will, doubting him again. I think that happened week 1 as well, and he continues to impress 2-0 in the 4 against some really good players. So that's impressive in its own right there. Also, some other notable things from last week. DeSharmo said Icon wins the 3 seed, and then I predicted that Icon will lose because he was predicted to win, and he only wins when people doubt him. So that prediction also came true. That's what happens. Icon did not go Super Saiyan this week because people thought he would win. I said no.
No
Sorry,
way, Jose.
But I was trying to give him a little bit more fuel. I was hoping that even just my doubt in him would fuel enough, but it just wasn't there.
Yeah, and I guess interestingly, we got all 4 of us got 1, 2, and 5 seeds all correct. That's incredible prediction skills.
Yeah. Or not. We got the 1. No, we got the 1 and 5 correct. The 2 was totally. Yeah, we all got that wrong. And then the 4 we all got wrong. I will say again, I predicted 4-1. It was 4-1. The only one I got wrong, or I got 2 wrong, but it ended up being still 4-1. So, what can you do? So far, I'm crushing it. So if we do a fantasy of this, you know who to pick. You guys.
Now I know why you wanted to do this so badly.
I didn't know. I had no idea. When I came up with this idea. I was like, you know what? It'd be interesting to see who's getting good predictions. And then it turned out it was me this week. So I can't guarantee that every week, but this week I was pretty good. So it was fun to find that out. DeSharmer likes to kind of be a contrarian sometimes, so you'll see that in some of these as well, where especially when it comes to Donde, he likes to count him out, and everyone else likes to vote for Donde. So, again, why he's not here tonight. But anyway, any other thoughts on this pond? I know you weren't here to guess on any of these, but any of these surprise you or?
Not really. I haven't played too much. I played with Ron Mexico, but other than that, I haven't. And I've not played with Icon, even though he's been my captain. So I don't know a lot of these people have been just on the other side of the bracket in both my legacies, so I haven't followed them as much. I think Force of Will did really solid. I think he's one of those players who you look at him in the 4 and the 5, and he's someone where even against good competition, I think he can rise to the occasion. If I recall correctly, in the past he's not done as well, but there's been some games where he just comes out and wins on. So
I think if I remember correctly, I think Force of Will had a really good season last season, but before that was struggling a little bit. But keeping up that good season from last season, and I think on the same team. So maybe there's something's clicking for him there, and he's rocking the 4 when there's a lot of really powerful 4s this season.
Yeah,
So
two of the losses for Prep were 3-2, so that makes it interesting.
yeah, I think they're a solid team, and definitely, that's Shunsui versus Saku being that close. To me, I thought it was going to be a stomp. I love you, Saku, but Shunsui is dirty in the 5. So
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. That's really, I think that's actually impressive there. So I think they have a lot of potential, and obviously not the best start, but there's still 5 more weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, I think the Stubbs is a really good team because they have a good 1 and then a good 4-5, and that makes it difficult. And they're 2-3 pulled out win back this week.
Yeah.
There we
Absolutely.
go.
All right.
Moving on to red.
Let's do it.
All right. We have Dad Legend versus Hearthstone and Chill.
Yes.
All right. So, I tried to be as unbiased as I can when making this prediction. I said that we were going to win. I did say we were going to win unbiasedly 5-0, but then I said realistically, we probably go 4-1 with one of the top 3 seeds taking a loss. I said Pond could beat me, or I said maybe Yellow Dart loses or Zabe, and I was right. So far, I'm just crushing it. That's all I'm saying. But actually, it did seem like most people did predict Dadledge. Actually, everyone predicted Dadledge to win 3-2. So it came out a little bit stronger than that. To me, some interesting. Yeah, you and Desharma went exactly the same, giving the 1 and 2 to Hearthstone and Shadow. I think Shadow Ranger's a great player, Catman as well. I was talking to Zabe during his, right after his match, and he was like, I was so stressed out. Like, I had no right to win that. Like, I played really, like he said, yeah, no, I played really well. I played to my outs, but it was so tough going in to the gate. Like, he thought he was just beaten in deck selection. So, really impressive that he was able to get there. And then Catman's been, on a tear so far this season, so not surprised there. But what's going on with your team, Pond? I think Catman's carrying the weight here.
Yeah, Catman's playing well. I think all of us are also in another league, I believe. And so I don't think we aren't putting 40 games of prep in each week.
Sure.
And I think how much prep you do really matters. Had some good conversations on Discord actually this week. So I think you'll see better results out of us forward. Like Shadow Ranger had a tough luck loss. I just got blown out, and your decks did really well.
It's all right, man. I think I know you well enough that I can predict what you'll bring, and I think that gave me a little bit of an advantage.
Definitely. Yeah. Your decks did well into mine. I'll put it that way. But yeah, no, it's a really good group of guys, and unfortunately, just we haven't been winning the games. Catman's been stepping up really solid. Catman and Chowder are swapping this week, so I hope to see Catman still winning, and I think Chow, and then we'll just pick up one more win. So that's the hope. But yeah, just really nice group of guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of potential there. Just need to harness it, and I think you guys can do it. Anything else surprising here before we jump to the next match? Anything that maybe surprised you, Turd, or Pond?
No.
Like, obviously, it was your team.
Yeah, I mean, I think this went about as we predicted. Obviously, I didn't have the faith in Honest Zabe, but he proved us wrong. So, us being me and Desharmo. So, otherwise, we talked a little bit about this in the tier list. I think Dad Legend is just really strong. And I think they're going to be, if not the team to beat, I think they're a team to beat for sure. They're going to be there. So
they've definitely put up results. I think matchups like this are the ones that really favor Dad Legend because they're just solid throughout.
Yeah.
and do really.
I mean, just looking at their PR, man, that's. Ugh. I think they're just so well seeded across the board.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a big fan
can't
of
complain.
having high seeded.
Yeah, and I know Starlax is a great cerebral player. He likes to think about things. He likes to explain his thinking, which is really helpful for a newer player. Obviously, that's not the case on Dad Legend, but yeah, I'm a big fan of this team. Number one fan.
Aw, buddy. I do think this will probably be our last season to all be able to play together. So,
Yeah.
hopefully we can get there this season. Just because our PRs are already higher than they were when we started. I think we were just at like 1800. So unless we just have a terrible losing streak, I think there's very little chance we can all of us play together. So
Right.
really cool that we could get this team together at just like the perfect PR.
And sometimes that's the name of the game. I've seen that. I've only been here 2 seasons now, but already seeing between my first season and my second season, kind of how those stars align almost, where you get these kind of all-star teams and these all-star comps. So it's really cool to see that you guys were able to do it here, and hopefully it pans out.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so too. All right, let's jump to our last game here in the Red Conference from last week.
Serenite Pain Gang versus the Misfits.
All right, so this is that team that you had in C here, Pond. Does this look like a C team to you?
They're beating up on a D team.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair.
I do think, as far as these predictions, I think we all got the top 3 right, so that's pretty impressive. I'm proud of us there. We all got the 4 seed wrong. I think Black Magic surprising there against Anfall. Anfall is really dirty in the 4. Like I said, we have a lot of really dirty 4 seeds, and usually that's Dark Side there in the 4, but Black Magic subbed and was able to come out with the win. I think that surprised me. It was really impressive. And then the 5 seed as well. I think we discounted Chewbacca there, a couple of us. You didn't. You had him, and Desharmo had him, but myself and Twos discounted him a little bit. Overall prediction, though, I nailed it. The 4-1. I just swapped the 4 and 5, and same with the twos as well. So far in my overall, I'm good. I mess up a couple of things on the way though.
Yeah, the 4.
Also, yeah. Also we'll see. This week might not go as well. Also, you see the X's on Maka because he is one of our hosts as well. But he was not able to be there this week, so you might see that in future weeks as well, depending on who actually
is or who isn't here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I have all the main hosts and then the guest, and if we have 2 guests, I'll find a way to fit that in as well. But yeah, any other surprises here? I want to start getting a little bit moving. The Eagles game has started, so
No, I think this is another one. In the moment, I was all about Black Magic, but then, yeah, just hindsight. Maybe it's 2020, but I don't know how I went against Anful here. I don't know. Maybe it's a transcription error. Maybe I actually did say Anful. Maybe it was kind of like Anful, but it sounded like Black Magic. I get it, but yeah, no. Just in hindsight, Anful, was definitely the pick there. Oh wait.
Yeah, you did. Everyone picked Anfall, and Black Magic took it. So really impressive there.
Oh man, I just can't read charts. So okay, well, I guess
I will say
underestimated Black Magic.
Yeah, I think that might be the case. I will say though, one note about when I was listening to the VODs, your upset pick of the week, and this is something you said. You said this is my upset pick of the week, so I kind of want you to keep doing that. Give us an upset pick every week.
Okay.
But your upset pick of the week was Shu winning over Rage Doppel, and you got it right. And
I did?
Yeah, Desharmo agreed. So I'm giving you extra points for that, and I want you to do that every week. I think Turd's upset of the week sounds like a fun little segment. So
I'm all about that. Yeah, of course.
So yeah, congratulations, you got your upset of the week correct. Yeah, and that's our last match for the Red Conference. We also will be highlighting the cross conference match here, and we're going to be doing that in every week. And we're going to keep a tally of which conference won and things like that. So let's jump to that one here.
We got it. Tap last on the Red Conference versus Vandergrift Esports on the Gold.
Yep. So Tap Last is able to come up with the win, tying it up here for the Red versus Gold Conference showdown. I believe week 1 it was Roundtable beating SPG and Roundtable's in the Gold. So, like I said, this is something I was sort of mentioning. The 1 and the 2 of Vandergrift Esports really underseeded, but able to come up with wins. Sorry, not under PR'd, so they're overseeded for their PRs and getting some really good wins into a team that most people have rated very high, and I think myself as well.
Yeah, they definitely kind of showing us, us specifically that, hey, we're here and we're not a pushover. You obviously giving credit to the 2 seed there.
I wonder more about the focus of Base and Trish. I know they dropping back, I believe, on some of their gel. So I'm wondering if their focus wasn't quite there.
I think that certainly might be somewhat of a factor, but it's still an impressive win. I know on stream Triss was saying that he predicted that he was going to lose. He said he's trying to tank his PR. So I think that was sort of my reasoning for giving it to Gamer Panda. I thought he had a good week 1, and even though I did think he lost week 1, he did have a really really solid showing, and I was like, okay, you can have it. But 2's actually, without any prompting, was giving it to Josen. So also pretty impressive, I think, when you see that one prediction and everyone else disagrees and it comes out to be accurate. Didn't work out for 2's on his other prediction. He thought the 3 would also go to Vandergrift, but all of us got the 4 and the 5 right.
Yeah. And I think in my mind, they definitely, I think I already said this. They proved me wrong. They proved that they're here to stay. And thinking about it a little bit more, they are a school team, right? So these guys are all going to be talking to each other in more than just a couple times on Discord or something like that. These are guys that are going to be working with each other in person. So yeah, props to them. I hope they improve. So even pulling off those 2 wins at the top, I think is really, really good for improvement.
Yeah, I think those are often the hardest ones to get to. Somewhere in the middle, it's a little bit more evenly matched a lot of the time, like the 3 to the 5. Like I said, we do have really powerful 4 seeds and this season, and 3 seeds as well. But having that win in the 1 and the 2, I think is even more impressive than down in the lower seeds. Other notes that I did right when I was listening to the VOD here is Desharmo unbiasedly said it was going to be 5-0, 3-0s all across the board. He was half right. He got the bottom 3 correctly. He actually got the 1 seed correct too, but the wrong way. And the only match that actually went to Game 5 or even past Game 3 was the second seed match there. You also predicted the full sweep for Tap Last, but you said there would be some 3-2s, and you're right. There was one.
Gosh, that's incredible. All those 3-0s. So
yeah,
good stuff.
And 2's was the only one to predict the correct match score with the 3-2. Not in necessarily the right seeds, but still pretty impressive. So that is the cross conference. We are now 1-1.
Yes.
So go Red.
Yeah, go Red.
Keep it up. There we go.
Keep it up. Let's do it.
We ready? Let's go into a commercial break really quickly. Guys, this is the Twitch channel, of course, and as you know, Twitch allows us to subscribe to our favorite casters and streamers. Today, we're hoping that you'll pick THL as your favorite caster and streamer. Drop those Twitch Prime subs. I saw Saku out there. He was gifting me a sub. That's incredible. Keep up that good cheer, that goodwill. This is what helps keep the lights on, guys. Helps go to pay for the website and all the other things that we utilize on the side. So please consider dropping a subscribe. If you can't do that for whatever reason, definitely follow us. Turn on the notifications. You could follow us on Twitter at THLHS, or you could join our Discord where you'll meet some new people and hopefully learn some new things. The community is very friendly and very willing to engage. So yes, please consider following, subscribing, or joining our Discord. Back to you, Minden.
All right, thank you. That was a great commercial there. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And let's jump into our week 2 preview. So this is where we'll be making predictions for this upcoming week, and hopefully we'll get some of them right. We only have us 3 tonight, so it's not going to be as extensive. But let's jump into it.
Sounds good. All right, we have for game number 1 here, Does Stubbs versus Roundtable, and we actually have one match that's already been played. So that makes predictions easier.
All right, I'm going to be trying to update this doc live, so bear with me. But let's have anything stand out for you guys here before we go to our predictions from the top to the bottom here.
Not particularly surprised that Tachi won. He's a solid player.
Yeah.
20. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Osmonaut, his Discord name is Darkhawk, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I played Darkhawk in the World Championships, or what was it called? THL World Cup? Yeah. There we go. I played him. He was a really nice guy. But, yeah, again, not surprised that Itachi won. These number 1 seeds are tough.
Oh, you got 2 550s facing off in the 1.
Yeah. Shim Jim's been on a tear. Lotus Knight is also just an incredible player. That's a tough one. How about let's do it this this is how we normally try to go about it. Let's start with Pond and just go from the 1 to the 5, skipping the 2 since we already have a result there, and just tell me who you think wins each of those matches and why.
So I think I'm going to go Shim Jim in the 1. He's just been playing really solid recently, even through last season. That's, I think, is going to be a 3-2, though, really close. I got Apex Predator in the 3 over Comp. I'm going to go Super Murloc not having a good weekend and losing to the Crime. I think he's already going to be sleeping on the couch. I don't think this is going to help him there.
I saw that going on in the Discord.
Yeah, I do like his odds in fantasy football though. But I like Copper Talon in the 5. I think really solid player. I have him over Sun Chu in the 5. Been stepping up in the 5.
All right, for me, I'm gonna go with Lotus Knight in the 1. That's completely biased. I think honestly, it's gonna be pretty close to a toss-up, 3-2 match. Lotus Knight is a bud. He's got those stats. I know it didn't help him out last week against AV, or Avi rather. But I think it's going to help him here against Shim Jim. I think Comp is going to take it against Apex Predator. The Chronic is going to take it against Super Murloc, and I think Shun Sui is going to take it against Copper Talon. I for the same reasons I said last week, I think Shun Sui is a fabulous 5 seed. Copper Talon is also very good in the 5, but I think Shun Sui is very, very good.
All right, so you have it.
Lotus, and then Itachi, obviously, but then Comp, Chronic, Shun Sui in the 3 to 5.
Wow. Yeah, so you have this 3-2 as well. I think you guys both predicted 3-2, but you have it going the other way. So you have the 1 and 2 going to round turn, and then the bottom 3 to Stubbs. And then Pond has the round table winning the 3 and the 5, getting that 3-2 win there. So, it's already some, I like it, some conflicting opinions here.
Yeah, I think we actually might have picked every single game opposite or close to it. So
pretty close.
I think we both said the Chronic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go from the bottom up. I'm going to say Shun Sui takes it. Like I said earlier, he's just a nasty 5 seed, so going to be hard to beat him there. And then I think I'm going to say the Chronic, but I think it's going to be close.
He is on a little bit of a losing streak, so I don't think I don't think he's a lock there. But
no, absolutely not. But I think he's going to come back with a vengeance here. He's had a couple of rough weeks, and he's going to want to win that one.
Yeah.
I think you could see all 5 matches going 3-2. That would not surprise me.
I'm going to give the 3 to Apex. Again, yeah, I think these are all super close. And then I think the 1 goes to Shim Jim. But again, like super close. I'm going to agree with Turd here. I'm going to say 3-2 to the Stubbs. But man, it's going to be a firefight. Like I would not be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised if one of the teams just takes 4 of the matches, like somehow. I think they're all going to be close, but because it's going to be super close, I could see it going 4-1 in the end. But a lot of 3-2s, things like that. Just because I think they're all pretty evenly matched. Like Shim Jim Lotus Knight, that's a great match. Shunsui Copper Talon 1 was one of the best 5 seeds last season. Obviously, like I said, Shunsui is in my opinion, like should be a 4 seed or even a 3 seed in some leagues or some series. But and then the Chronic also had a great season last season. Super Murloc's been doing really well this season. I think he's a solid player. I think just everyone is matched up super, super well. Comp's been just doing great so far this season in matches that we thought he was gonna lose. So can't count him out as well.
No, I wish I could at least watch point of view streams from all these games.
Yeah.
Or casted games, whichever, just because I think they all are going to be really good to watch. A lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So, alrighty. So we got it. We're all good on the predictions here?
We got it.
All right. Let's move on to game number 2 in gold. It is Abejas versus Prep is for Rogue, not Pilots.
Mm-hmm. So Abejas off to a little bit of a rocky start. They are 1-1, but no like crazy point weeks. I think they are 1, 2, 3. They're 4th in the standings right now for the gold, so still in the playoff race there, but very close to Prep, and whoever wins this is going to take the lead in that race for that 4 spot, more than likely. So definitely a really important match for both of them. Fuel off to a rocky start. We did talk about Force of Will having an incredible season so far. Ghost, also great player. I think he had a really good season last season. So 2 really strong looking teams, but gonna be an interesting week for them. I think this is gonna potentially, determine their fates as far as their playoff potential. We still got plenty of weeks left, but I think this is going to be a big start for one of these teams. Pond, why don't you do the same thing we did for the last one? Just go 1 to 5. Tell me who you think wins each one.
I'll go I'm going to give it to Fuel. I think he puts a win on the board this season.
This season? I hope so.
Funny thing is, I'm on Hero team with Ron Mexico, and I think he wins the 2. And I play with Booze and Pro, and I think he wins the 3.
All right, so not playing favorites at all so far.
You know what? You guys stand. Well, funny thing is, I'm also on a team with Copper Talon, so it really is the thing where you see your boys and you're like, okay, I like their odds. Yeah, I think Booze wins the 3. I think Force of Will takes the 4, and I'm going to go with Silver Fox Demon in the 5. But that could I think it goes 1-1 split there. But I don't know which one wins it. But for the record keeping, I'll go with 4 Silver Fox Demon. So, but yeah.
So you have Silver Fox taking the 5 for Abejas there.
So I have 3 and 5 for Abejas. Prep winning it, but close. So, yeah.
So, I'm going to come out here. I'm going to make my Turds upset pick of the week.
Yes.
And it's only upset on paper, because in my heart, this person's going to win. And that's Saku. Saku's going to take the 5 seed here. he did not win his Hero Series game, and so I'm taking that into consideration that he has overly prepped for his Legacy Series game. He's in chat. He's picking up the pointers that he needs to win this game, and he's going to do it. So that's my Turds Upset pick. Other than that, though, I'm going to go with Ghost over Force of Will. Boy. If I pick Boozosaurus, then that means we're going against Icon again, and we know what happens when Icon gets chosen against. Icon wins. So it's like a catch-22 here. But I'm going to give it to Booz, fully expecting that Icon is probably going to win by doing so. 2-star Mako is going to get the 2 seed against Ron Mexico, but Fuel is going to take it against Snake in the 1. He's going to turn that O2 ship around.
All right, so you have it 3-2 to Abejas in this one.
Yes.
I love it. So far we've got the flips in both of those. Pond being the contrarian today. We don't have DeSharmo here, so Pond, being a little bit of the opposite opinion here, and I love it. For me, I'm gonna say. For me, I'm gonna say Fuel as well. I think he finally gets his. I think it's gonna be close, but I'm gonna give it to him. He's hungry. I saw him on ladder the other day when I was specking Smear, and he gave us a nice little 1-2 punch, beating up Smear. So I think he's in it. He's been practicing. He's ready to go. I think Mako versus Ron Mexico is probably the match of the series here. I think that could be potentially the determining match, but I'm going to give it to Ron, although Mako has huge potential to win that, but I will give it to Ron in this case. And then let's see, where am I? I think I'm going to give it to Booz there. We're gonna do the thing that you were just mentioning, and everyone vote against Icon, and then he watches this and he goes Super Saiyan and takes down Booz. So I think Icon can definitely win it, but I'm gonna give it to Booz, and we'll see. I mean, there's that mage pick there. We also see Mako bringing the mage. That worries me a little bit. I think they're refining it somewhat, but still kind of a risky pick in my opinion, but we'll see if it works out for them. I don't know. It'd be curious to see how Mage has been doing actually. If we can get those stats somewhere at some point to see Mage brings and how many wins Mage has had, or at least we don't know exactly how many wins Mage specifically has had, but at least a lineup with Mage. I guess if they win, we'd know, but if they lose, we don't really necessarily know if the Mage won or not. But
it seems some success in GMs, I know. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Last week, no one brought Mage in Red Conference, so that's an easy stat. And it looks like only Mako brought it in Abejas last week, and he won. He was the only win. Oh wait! Sorry, take that back. No, yeah, Mako and Silver Fox.
Okay, and they won.
Mako won, Silver Fox lost, obviously. So. Okay,
so 50-50 as far as we know at this point. But. We'll have to see. Maybe collect those stats at the end of the season. I think Ghost takes the 4. I think giving Force of Will his first loss of the season. Maybe I shouldn't be counting him out. He's been beating us every week that we discount him. I think all of us said he loses here actually. Oh no, you. Oh yeah, I think Pond gave it to him.
I like Ghost.
No.
Yeah.
Pond said Force of Will wins. But we both went against him, and then it's tough for me. I think I like your upset of the week pick. I think Saku could win this one, but it actually might determine the series. So I think I don't know much about Silver T Fox Demon not having the best start. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Saku. I'm gonna agree with you there on your upset of the week. I think Saku takes it, and that actually gives the win in my book to Prep. So we'll see. I think this could go 3. I think this will be a 3-2, but I think it could be a 3-2 either way.
Yeah, very easily.
I think Mako. I think the 2, the 5, and the the four are the ones that I think are actually all of these seeds I could see switching, but I'm going to stick to what I said, and I think Prep takes it 3-2 in a very close match.
Very nice. Moving on to the red division. It's Dad Legend versus Serenite Pain Gang. Two teams we've talked a little bit about earlier today, so let's get right down into it.
Yeah, so I think Dad Legend's first really testing, I think, week. Not to discount the teams we've played so far, but definitely I think as far as matchups, this seems like the team that's matched up in our division potentially the best against us, in my opinion. So, yeah, let's hear it from you, Pond. What do you think?
I think it's going to be 4-1 Dad Legend. But if you make me pick all the matches, I'm going to pick Dad Legend. So I'm going to be Miamidon this week and pick Dad Legend 5-0. But I think it's going to be 4-1 Dad Legend. I think SPG gets a win somewhere.
Okay, could you tell me where exactly? So I can fill out this sheet. Or at least give me two that you think could go either way, and I'll do like a thing. So you're saying they get one of them.
Yeah, give me Zabin the one. I think he'll win it. But that could go either way, and I'll take Yellow Dart in the two, but that could go either. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. So the top two are the ones that one of them could go the way of SPG.
I expect one of the top two is probably going to be won by SPG, but if you made me pick on both of them, bet my life, I'll go on Dad Legend.
So,
all right.
I have a question before I make my picks. Who is Brick? Is he a legit 50 PR, or is he like...
No, that should be updated now. He's 380.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he's subbing for Freeloader this week.
I don't think that changes my opinion, but it could have been an easy pick or a more difficult pick.
So 380 means if you're new to THL and you're 380, it means you've hit Legend 2 seasons.
Yes. Yep. All right, so I'm going to give it to Coles.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to Donde because I want to keep my job on Tavern Talk. But then I'm going to go 3-5 for Dad Legend. Maiden Starlux and Mr. Shads, for the reasons I've stated previously, I think are just really good players, and I think they're going to take it in this matchup here.
Cool. I'll take it, and then I'll do the same thing I did last week. I'm going to give my unbiased opinion that we win all of the seeds, but realistically, I think if we lose, it's going to be in one of the top two. I think Coles is an excellent player. I think that one's going to be super, super close. And same with the Yellow Dart and Donde. I think both of those matches could go to SPG.
You have a mirror match in the world.
Yeah. So I might actually do the same thing with my realistic prediction. I'm going to probably do the same thing that Pond did. Although my unbiased opinion will say we win all of them. So I'm going to say we take it 4-1 with my realistic opinion and just full sweep with the unbiased. It's not my team opinion.
Well, there you go.
And you criticized my ranking of SPG.
I think it's more that I disagree with your ranking of Dad Legend.
Okay. Well, I put them in
SPG lost to another team that's on your S tier by a similar margin, I believe. So that's all I'm saying.
SPG's had a really hard schedule this season, so
yeah, absolutely, for sure. I think they're a playoff contender, no doubt in my mind. Who can say? Maybe they beat us this week and they start that turnaround, but we're not going to make it easy on them. That's for sure.
We'll see. All right, moving right along. Looks like we're going on to our game 2 here in the red division. Tap Last versus Dirty Mike and the boys. So these were two teams that I think Pond had at what, B tier?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
And I can check. Yep.
And they are currently in the second and third seed of the Red Conference, differing by just 2 points. So both had both 2-0, both had a really good week so far. So this is kind of the fight for the second seed potentially, or maybe even first if Dad Legend gets beaten here.
There's so many 2-0s.
Yeah.
Many 2-0s.
So many 2-0s. One thing to note here is because of the way things happened last week that we did review against Vandegrift, Triss, who was in the 2, moved down to the 3. Base, who was in the 1, moved down to the 2, and Icicles moved all the way up to the 1 with his win. So a big switch there for their top 3. DeCharmo still kicking it in the 4 seed, but a loss anywhere could push him all the way up to the 1, to the 2. Like he could be anywhere from 1 to 4 next week, depending on how the matches go. So let's take your predictions, and then maybe we do a little guess where DeCharmo ends up. Guess at the end just for fun.
So
based on
I
your
have
results.
Sharmo ending up in the 2 would be my guess.
Well, let's do your predictions first. That'll help you guess a little bit more accurately.
So I think Tony Montana is going to win the 1. I think
Okay.
it's tough stepping up from the 3 to the 1. I think I'll go Surlos in the 2. I think that's going to be really close.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give it to Base in the 3. Sorry, Tristan in the 3.
Tristan in the 3. Okay.
Yeah, I got confidence in DeCharmo winning. I think he's going to carry the 4. And I think Volkai gets his first loss of the season, and Lefty beats him. So I'm taking it 3-2 for Dirty Mike. And I think DeCharmo ends up in the 2. Yeah, I think DeCharmo ends up in the 2.
All right, so DeCharmo ends up in the 2. Pond prediction. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Or actually, so you're saying that Triss moves up to the 1 then potentially?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. Okay.
Yeah. I think Icicles is still on the new player bonus, from what I can tell of the ranks.
Oh, so yeah, bigger. I think you're right.
And so I think they can move enough, but we'll see. Yeah, I got DeCharmo in the 2. I don't think will be too difficult for him. I think that he'll be just fine too. So
I will also note on the side of DMB, Brushy Tuna was in the 3, Icy Finny was in the 4, and they switched off of last week, so taking on a little bit tougher competition there. Icy Finny and Brushy Tuna may be not easier for him though against DeCharmo, in my opinion. So
yeah.
I think not ideal for them. I think in those 2 seeds.
That's the thing. Tap Blast, you could just toss all their top 4 into a bag and pull out people, and they'd be playing. Those seeds are all in flux. So yeah.
Alrighty, so for my predictions, I'm gonna give the quick shout out to Aviously giving me some good insider information here. He says that he's saying that based on last season, Icy Finny was a 5 seed. And Triss was a 1 seed. So we have a 1 seed playing a 5 seed. Obviously, it's a little bit different. But I'm going to use that information. I'm going to go with Triss.
Okay.
So starting right in the middle. Just being real annoying.
He did say last week that he's trying to tank to the 4. So, maybe he does one more week of tanking. This is going to be, I think, the match that determines if he reaches the 4 or not like he wanted. But...
Yeah, but is he memeing or is he being serious?
I think he's memeing. He's memeing.
I hope he is. But so yeah, that's why I'm gonna put my money on Triss.
Okay.
DeCharmo, I like. Fudge. I do think Tony Montana is gonna go with the win. I think. Shoot. So Bass dropped down from the 1 seed to the 2, huh?
Base, yeah.
Base, sorry. I think Base is going to win it. I think a 1 seed playing in the 2 is pretty good. Even though he's 1-1 and Surlos is 2-0. And I think Lefty's going to take the 5 seed.
All right, so you have Tap Last taking the 3-2 here.
Yes. Yep.
I think
Sorry,
I'm
I
gonna
was
have
jumping
to.
around a little bit.
You're good. I think I'm gonna have to agree with you throughout. Actually, I think there's
Nice.
gonna be definitely some super close matches. If Triss really does want to tank, um, I could see that happening. Although like Avi was saying, one versus a 5 of last season, that's a big jump. Regardless of that, they're meeting in the 3 right now, but that's a big jump. I think Lefty's really nuts in the 5 as well. I think he's a really, really powerful 5. Volkai's been doing great things, but this might be the week that he struggles. Desharmo, I think, takes it. And then base versus Surlos, I think, is going to be super, super close as well. I do like base's classes, I think, a little bit better into Surlos's classes. If he just bans the warrior out, he goes like super aggro. That priest is going to struggle. The hunter will struggle. And then depending on the paladin. So I think he's lined up that way a little bit better. And then Icicles having a great start to the season, but to jump from the 3 to the 1, that's tough. Sort of almost as tough as a 1 versus a 5 in the 3 seed. So I'm going to give it to Tony. But maybe Icicles has some magic juju that he can get that win. But so yeah, I'm also going to agree 3-2 tap blast with Dirty Mike and the boys taking the 1 and the 5.
Very nice. Alrighty, moving right along. Looks like we're going to have the cross-conference prediction special. I know you guys are pulling for the red conference, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So maybe I'll be giving it to the yellow. The gold.
Maybe we want the gold to win, so it makes our path to the playoffs easier.
Oh boy. This is okay. Okay, so we got the Misfits versus the Wet Boys. Misfits, I believe, are on the red. If I'm not mistaken.
I try and do it in order when I put it in there. I'm pretty sure that's...
Yes, yeah. Misfits are red.
Yeah, Misfits red, Wet Boys gold.
All right. Well, I said I was going to give it to red, but this is going to be really, really tough to give to red. We're going to see. I want red to win, but this is not the matchup you want to see.
Oof. Oh boy.
It's okay. It'll come around at some point, right? Like we had 2 tough matchups in this cross conference. We had Round Table and we've had Wet Boys so far. So 2 I think are the best teams. They were both S tier for you. In that, and they're both in the gold conference. So those 2 out of the way, our top tier teams should be able to take their lower tier teams ideally. So not over yet, even if we lose this week. So let's see. What do you think here, Pond, from 1 to 5?
I'm going obviously in Daravis in the 1-2. I'm going to give it to Juggerlaw in the 3. I think Anfall takes in the 4, and I'm going to go with Quirky Tail actually winning something this week in the 5.
Actually winning something.
So you give it, the only one you give to Misfits is Anfall in the 4?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have it.
4-1 Wet Boys with Anfall taking 4 for the Misfits. But yeah, I think that both of those 4 and 5 matches could go either way. But I'll give it to Anfall and Quirky.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, this is tough.
This is super tough.
Part of me wants to go 5-0 Wet Boys. I don't think I'm going to do that though. I think there's going to be a close match, but I think it's going to be obviously Daravis. I don't think Daravis gets his loss today. I think Kel's going to take a loss. It's okay.
Sorry, Kel.
Yeah. Gosh, 2 550s in the 1 and 2. That's insane.
Yeah, it's spicy.
It just makes the 2 seed like godly.
Yeah, you can actually do a team with 3 550s if your 4 and 5 are really low, which would be just absurd to have a 5.
So I'm a 50 PR 5 seed legacy looking for a team with one other 5 seed with 3 550s. So hit me up for next season. No. Yeah, so I'm going to...
He wants to play 2 550s in the 1-2.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm going to give it to obviously, Daravis, J.R. Juggerlaw, Matty Ebbs, and then I'm going to go with my boy Chewbacca again over in the over on the Misfit side.
So only win for the Misfits is Chewbacca there.
That's my prediction.
All right. I like it.
White Boys is such a good team.
Yeah, they're really, really strong.
Yeah. They're what S tier team looks like.
Yeah. I think I also give it to Avi and Dervis, although I think if I think one of them could lose this week, but I will give it to both of them. I think they're both favored, but I think there's a chance that one of them loses this week. Let's see. I think
Dervis's lineup is really interesting. He went Druid, Paladin, and Rogue.
yeah.
Just last selection wise, I found that really interesting.
Yeah, we see Avi's Warlock here. Could be a couple of different Warlocks. We'll see. I'm kind of curious. I might ask him after the match what he ended up bringing, because he has been hinting at potentially bringing something spicy. We'll see. I think JR takes it, but that's going to be close as well. And then I think it's Anfall and Chewbacca of the Misfits there. So I think it's 3-2 actually for Wet Boys, but man, I think they could lose one of the top ones. And I think Anfall versus Matty Ebbs is super close. And I could see Matty Ebbs taking it as well. So it could go 4-1 Wet Boys. It could go 3-2 Wet Boys. And if something crazy happens, it could even go 3-2 Misfits. Like, I guess according to my predictions, if they really do hit the one of those 1-2, they win one of the 1-2. I think they're situated in a decent spot to win with their 5 and their 4. So, if Kel manages to win tonight, I think that's a really good sign for his team. I think they have a good shot to win it, which would be really impressive.
Inspirestone won 1 in the 1. So I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. A couple. Yeah. I think it's cool.
Awesome. Any other last thoughts on this one, guys?
That's it for me.
Cool. We're almost done here, so I can start watching the game 100%. But before we do end here for tonight, we'll open up questions for our guests here, Pond. We have a couple here, but we'd love to hear your questions as well. If anyone has any for Pond or for us or just in general about the league, whatever you guys are feeling, we're open to it. All right, Saku, don't tell me things, bro.
Yeah, that seems false.
I don't want to hear about it. That seems out of control, man. It's like, is that real? Are you lying to me, buddy?
Oh, he's gonna go look now.
Saku, come on.
Trolled.
There is no way that's real. There's no way.
They've been playing for what, 10 minutes with commercials?
No, like 30 minutes. Okay, they're down 10-0, but there's only been one quarter. Okay, it's fine.
That's not too bad by the Eagles standard.
It's not fine. We're a second half team. It's fine.
Yeah.
First half Carson Wentz is not good, but second half Carson Wentz knows what he's doing.
4 points in football is a very good point. I don't know how you get 4 points.
I just saw 27. I don't know. I wasn't thinking, man. You freaked me out. I'm trying to host a show here.
Provide content to the people.
Yeah. Come on, man.
All right, so if anyone but Saku has questions.
That wasn't even a question. That was just a troll. Yeah, ask away for Pond. I guess we'll start with our questions then. How did you get your name? I've never actually heard this story.
So have you guys heard of a game called Utopia?
I know of it.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
I got a whole bunch of games over there.
It's a text-based game that's played on the computer. It's still played, actually. And it says, okay, you get a province and a kingdom. What part of the kingdom are you? And I said, I'm the pond. So my name was Pond, and that's I just stuck with the pond, and that's how I
Okay.
got the name. So like I was the pond, and then we played. Really, if you ever want a game that requires way too much time out of your life, play Utopia. It's
I know you
yeah.
guys both play WoW, so coming from you to say that a game that takes up a lot of your life and it's not WoW.
So the thing about Utopia is your army comes home. People can attack you when your army is home. So if your army gets home at 2 a.m., you have to wake up at 2 a.m. to attack with your army. Um,
It's like
so,
Farmville. What is this?
Farmville.
so
You gotta like tend to
basically
your crops at all hours.
no, you're like different races. It's kind of and you just attack other people. So you
Mhm.
attack and take land from someone. And so whenever your army gets home, if you have a very attack oriented army, you have to send your attack guys out to attack again. And so the trick is kind of to always keep your army attacking so they never have to defend.
All right, all
So
right. And
yeah, it's
what does
yeah.
the pawn do in this Utopia?
So I usually played an attacker.
No,
I
I mean the pond because you chose to be the pond of
No,
this
I just
kingdom.
said my name. I said my name was the pond when I had no clue about the game.
Oh, I
Um,
got you. I
Oh.
got you.
so
So you're not actually
yeah,
a
so like
pond. I got really confused.
yeah, no, like so I said I was the pond, and yeah, so my name on the game was Pond, and I've used it just about everything. Played WoW for years with Pond as my name. Um, yeah, so
It's a big fan of bodies of water. I got you.
ah,
Yeah, we know his video has been a little glitchy, but
sorry guys.
Yeah,
I
it
hope
Cthulhu
will.
got to
that
him, as Aviously points out.
You know, Cthulhu
at
got to
least
pond. Maybe he came out of the pond. Hard to say.
I mean, look at this right here. This is spoopy.
Very spoopy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Anyways, so actually,
I'm
Saku had
afraid.
2 questions, and although I previously said no Saku questions, I think we can make an exception. He wants
Yeah,
to
we'll allow
know, what is your favorite sports team, Pond?
You know, he wants to know
Favorite
who is your favorite sports team.
Yes.
Favorite sports team would probably be the Atlanta Braves. I follow just about any sport though, so yeah, Braves are looking great. We'll probably win the division for another 15 years again. At the rate we're doing, but yeah, I love the Braves. I'm a big Manchester United fan in soccer. Football, it's the Titans and the Patriots.
So very global. There's no like there's no city or allegiance to any state or you're just all over the
So
place.
So, like, it depends on where I was growing up when I was picking teams. So, like, I grew up in Tennessee, so
Mhm.
I root for the Titans. My mom's from Massachusetts, so I'm a Patriots and Celtics fan from that. Started following hockey when I lived in New Jersey, so I'm a Devils fan, and I also root for the Preds.
That's just a bad
Um,
place to be to start liking hockey, man. I'm sorry.
well, no, this was when we had the best goalkeeper ever, Martin Brodeur.
Oh.
And
Oh, who'd you
so,
get after
yeah,
Brodeur?
yeah, no, like the Devils have not been a nice team to root for after that. Hopefully, they can turn it around. But so it's been nice to have Nashville to root for. I tend to, yeah, baseball. It's been the Braves, always been the Braves. I started following them in like '91. So if you ever want to talk Braves farm system, I can do that as well. We have a great farm system. 2 all-star potential outfielders sing in AAA. So next year we'll have 3 kids under 22, I think, 23, all playing in our outfield who can be fantastic. Get Riley moved to third. So yeah, Braves are probably my favorite team.
All
Yeah.
right. That okay. So you're just like all over the place because you told me you live in
Denver.
Denver right
Well,
now, right?
yeah,
So
I
Oh,
moved
man.
here about a year and a half ago. So, yeah, I went, okay, where in the U.S. do I want to live? Went Denver. So, yeah. Um,
Not bad.
but
All right.
Yeah, the entire Southeast is Braves fans, so there's not really another team in the South. So
I actually had no idea. That's interesting.
yeah.
We do have another question here from Saku. Who is your favorite pro or Hearthstone pro / GM player?
Um, my favorite GM would probably be.
It's a good question.
Huh.
Can I pick Lawful Dog? He's my favorite.
So
Oh, he's in the running for him and a couple others are top of the class for potential new GMs.
So it's a good pick. I'm getting in at the bottom. I'm not a bandwagon fan. I'm just
Yeah,
getting
you've
in. I'm here.
been a fan since
Yeah.
day one.
Well, since I was on here with him, so
I'm a big fan of Bunny Hopper. I think yeah, I think Bunny Hopper's one of my favorites. He just got promoted. Sorry, he did really well. He's a cool guy. So yeah,
very
I'll go
nice.
Bunny Hopper.
Awesome. I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
Um,
If you ever get a chance, Firebat is hilarious. The guy has almost no filter and really says exactly what he thinks. I love that about him, especially if you get him on smaller streams. He will say exactly what he.
yeah. Also, if you're into dad jokes, he's always got a dad joke going on.
Oh, I love myself some dad jokes. So, yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions from people watching? We got a couple more here we can ask. Maybe your favorite card of all time, favorite deck. Maybe one of those cards is coming back because it sounds like we're having a bunch of those cards coming back.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that. As someone who has a golden rag, I'd like to be able to pick which legendary I get. I'd like it like a 2-month rental of any card in my choice rather than a card I already have.
That would very much mix up the meta, and people would be picking all random things, though. I don't know. I think they have to limit it to a specific group of cards, but
Yeah.
I think maybe we'll talk about that next week once that's released, or Heart Center. Someone's going to talk about that. But if you haven't seen the announcement, they did announce that they're going to bring 27. Was it cards
I thought it was 23.
from?
N'Zoth and Ragnaros were the two headliners.
Yeah, they were the two that were announced so far. Yeah.
N'Zoth is going to be very annoying. It's going to make Control Priest probably pretty good because they have the silence that the board wipe that silences everything.
Yeah.
So.
We're saying Brick is saying 23, so it's probably 23. That is interesting. I wonder how it works with Reborn as well and N'Zoth. Like I know I haven't obviously tested it, but like there are some minions that are Death Rattle Reborn, like Kartut. That would be pretty strong. Like you get a Kartut with the Reborn on it. I wonder how exactly that works, but I imagine it has both.
Oh, going back to the GM conversation, if you guys ever get a chance, I really recommend Gallon's stream. He usually has about 100 people, 100, 200, so it's a really small stream for a GM, and he explains himself well. He has very strong opinions about what's good, and it's just a really good stream to listen to. So I highly recommend Gallon's.
He was the runner-up in Vegas this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was the runner-up and got promoted.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, he got promoted when Dog decided to step back, which it'll be interesting to see if Dog can come back next year, will come back next year. So, yeah. So, but highly recommend Gallon's stream. Yeah, he has, if you want someone who you haven't heard of probably, Wabeka does a lot with Zoo and things like that, will often be a guest on Gallon's. So, it's just some interesting.
Very cool. All right, I think that's it for our questions here, unless anyone else in the chat has. Otherwise, I am trying to get to this game. No offense, guys.
Yeah,
I
I was
love
gonna
doing
say.
this, but the Eagles are on, and I can't not watch this game. It does look like we're 7-10 now, so the game is getting a little bit
Salvageable.
spicier. But yeah, before we go, I will just give a couple of last announcements here. We don't have any matches scheduled for tomorrow night, so if you are interested, please contact Saku. I won't be able to make it, but the Big Ted and Brushatuna should be casting that if someone comes forward. So make sure you contact him if your match is around that time. Maybe you can work it out. Usually around 8, 9, 10 p.m. Eastern time. And then nothing scheduled for Saturday. I think we still don't have a set casters and op for Saturday. So if you're interested in doing that, please contact Donde. And then for Sunday, we've got one match scheduled so far. If you're playing around, then please contact them as well. The one match we have scheduled is actually the husband and wife beatdown match that we were hyping up.
The Who
I
Sleeps
think
on
into
the Couch
Discord.
match.
Yeah, Who Sleeps on the Couch match? We've got the Hero Series purple match of Super Murloc of Monkeys and Tree versus Quirky Turtle of the Cult. So whoever, I think we've been talking about this potential match for even since last season where Quirky Turtle started playing. There were, depending on seeds and how things turned out, there was a chance they played each other, and this season it worked out. So I think this is their first match against each other. And definitely excited to see that. That's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and casted by the Big Ted and Quaz. So make sure you check that out. And if you're playing around, then please let them know so we can maybe get another match. I think that's it from us here. Any other thoughts, announcements from you guys? Obviously, thank you to Pond for coming by. Really appreciate you coming on and giving your thoughts and your standings here, your tier list. Even though I disagree, usually I like to let the chat and the Discord,
I
disagree.
picked Dad Legend to win 4-1. You don't have to hate me.
I don't hate you, man. I love you, buddy. You're on my team. We're doing good things.
Right.
But yeah,
Nice
thanks for coming by. Turd, thank you as always. Opping, casting, you do a great job with me, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime, man. Really appreciate it. So, all right. I think with that, adios,
Go
amigos.
Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Good night.